You're listening to WRUU-LP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul.
Check, check, 1, 2. Look like a little country, some rock and roll and blues. 'Cause we sure love playing for good people like you. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2.
Welcome to Music Local and Sustainable, the radio show that features discussions with and the music of local musicians. I am your host, Dave Lake. Tonight in the studio we have Savannah singer and songwriter Tim Warren. Most of you know him as a guitarist and one of the vocalists for the band Clouds and Satellites. Welcome, Tim Warren.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Let's talk a little bit about how did you become a musician?
I guess just started listening to my mom's record collection. She's a musician, piano player, guitarist, played in some bands, and just picked up the piano and guitar at a young age, 10 or 12, and that's about how it started. Probably put it down for a good 15 years. Just got into sports, and then probably in the last 15 years or so, I've picked it back up and just haven't been able to put it down since.
When did you become involved in professional performance?
Probably when I moved down here. I'd been bouncing around quite a bit. I used to work with Delta Airlines. I started there in Cincinnati, Ohio. I ended up in New York City. And that was about the time I started playing the guitar again. Started hitting some open mics up there. Had a really good coworker that bounced musical ideas off of, and kind of started then. And about 9/11 had happened. I'd about had my fill in New York anywhere. I'd been up there about 3 years or so. Long short of the way, in about a year or so, I ended up in Savannah, Georgia, and just fell in love with it. And it's kind of what I was looking for. Excellent music community, not too large, but not too small either. A lot of similar, like-minded people. So I just started playing out as much as I could and tried starting bands, and took a little while. Finally got into it, I'd say, full on once I started playing with Marcus Kuhlman, who's a drummer, multi-instrumentalist, and sings and writes songs as well in our band. And just been, I guess you'd say, hitting it since then.
When did Clouds and Satellites begin?
Probably, I'd say 5 years ago. It was still just me and Marcus at that point. A friend of mine over in Hilton Head had come up with the band name. Good general conversation, and he came up with that, called me one night, and I thought, well, that's perfect. And I just started writing songs and then playing them for people. So it all just kind of came together that way, I guess you'd say. And Marcus heard one of the songs. And, I'd been playing like breaks with the Trainwrecks with him, doing two-piece stuff. We just mainly do covers, White Stripes, Bob Dylan, some Velvet Underground. And I said, well, I think I'm going to start this. And he says, you all right with me being a part of it? And I said, yeah, are you kidding me? We kind of did that for, I'd say, a couple years ago, and then Stu joined shortly after that, and then we got Matt Garapolo to join as well a little while after that. And I'd say as a four-piece, we've probably been doing it for 2 or 3 years, probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both you and Marcus contribute songs to the band?
Yes. We, matter of fact, all four of us write. Yeah, we've done a pretty good job being democratic about it. Everybody end up playing the ones everybody enjoys the most, but that still seems to be a fairly even thing at this process. I'd say most of them are mine and Marcus at that point, just because we've been together as Clouds and Satellites for a while.
The two of you perform as Clouds and Satellites as well as the full band of four.
Yeah, we're able to do that, mainly because Marcus is capable of playing so many instruments. I'm pretty much stuck with the guitar or the keyboards, which I rarely ever play. And I'll play some bass too, but that's only as a four-piece Matt songs. But we tend to do the two-piece for the most part acoustic. The full-on band tends to be more of an electric thing. But every once in a while, depending where the gig is, Marcus might bring his drums and I'll do electric guitar and kind of do that two-piece thing we used to do during the Trainwreck breaks.
Do you still do solo?
Every once in a while, but I don't look for it. I just really enjoy playing with people in general. it's just nice to hear other things with the songs. I mean, I got no problem with playing solo, but I'd much rather do it with other people.
What do you mean by hearing other things from the songs?
For example, you just playing acoustic by yourself with a guitar, and you got the chords, and you might be able to solo or play some licks. It's nice to have a rhythm section. It's nice to have another person on, say, Stu with guitar, that can do so many more things that I'm incapable of doing, at least at this point for sure. And it frees me up to do other things if I feel so, to play the keyboard, somebody else is on a guitar. A handful of my songs been written on a piano, and there is definitely things that a piano brings that a guitar can't, even though they're very closely related. That's mainly, I guess, what I think of with the sounds. I just enjoy hearing more, I guess.
Both Marcus and you have written quite a few songs, and so you can do whole sets with just originals. What do you tend to do in terms of particular gigs? Do you tend to do all originals? Do you tend to mix it up?
With Marcus and I, we tend to play a few more covers. I'd say over half of them are originals. I prefer the originals because we've got more than enough. I do enjoy playing some covers from time to time. They influence my writing and imagination. But that's generally the acoustic setting. When it's at least 3 or 4 of us, it's all on originals because you got 4 guys writing songs. And
when you began playing instruments, did you take formal lessons?
I just asked my mom to teach me. I think it was guitar first, a Beatles song, and then some Billy Joel on the piano. When I was that age, that Billy Joel was on top of the mountain, pop-wise. But it actually put the guitar down very quickly. The piano, I hung with that for quite a while. She would give me just the basic lessons.
Well, let's talk a little bit about writing. Let's talk about a song. How about Strange Inside Your Head? What was the origin of that?
That song's really a metaphor. A lot of the stuff I write isn't straightforward, and this song is one of those. This is one of those songs that I had a specific thought, an idea in mind when I'm talking about the story. This is definitely one of those that I leave up to the imagination of the listener. If I'm just giving you my idea to it, that's all you're going to see from it. You might see it a little bit differently, but that's how you're going to see it. And now if I leave it up to your imagination, you're liable to think of something totally different. And not only that, your imagination may take you somewhere else. It
was just a thought that came, or was there an event?
I think I was listening to some Guided by Voices music. Was strumming the guitar and playing songs, working on a new cover or something. The first few chords came together and just heard a melody. Like, all right, well, that's not just G, F, C, and D. There's something there, right? And it felt like a Guided by Voices song. And so I went and clicked record and just started playing the progression and just singing whatever came out of my mind, stream of conscious, if you want to call it. Found a melody and build it from there. And as far as the lyrics, I think it was it's going to be Strange Inside Your Head lines that I just started singing those over and over, and then kind of I made them fit.
It's gonna be strange
Is that pretty normal for you? You start with a tune comes to you, and then you put lyrics to it?
Usually the melody, yeah, more times than not. And that's the thing I find. But yeah, more times than not. There have been a few times I thought, well, I want to write a song like this, and sat down and wrote it in a particular way. But more times than not, that's the way it goes. Just let it come out. So far, that's worked.
Most radio stations are background music. They are soothing, but they don't engage very much with your heart or mind. Here on WRUU, we offer something different and unlike anything else on your radio dial. We present music and news programs that are captivating, enlightening, passionate, and above all, interesting. You never know what's coming next on WRUU. Our programs command your attention, and now let this command your attention. WRUU pays for its operating costs with the help of listeners like you who use the service. We are an all-volunteer staff, so we are counting on you to go online and pledge your support. Find the giving links at wruu.org.
When you go to wruu.org, make a pledge of $60. That's $5 a month. And while $5 a month might not sound like very much, any pledge at any level will help WRUU bring you the unique and vital programs that you enjoy. And every person who pledges during our membership campaign may choose to receive a WRUU bumper sticker regardless of the pledge amount. Help us end this campaign successfully so you can sit back and enjoy Savannah's community radio with Global Soul, knowing that you did your part. Find the giving links at wruu.org. You can choose to make a one-time donation or subscribe to a monthly gift. Remember, $60 is just $5 a month, and it helps Savannah's only community radio station. The web address is wruu.org, and thank you for your support of WRUU.
Tonight in the studio we have Savannah singer and songwriter Tim Warren. So generally these tunes are just something strange inside your head.
Yeah, some people would say that, sure.
They just sort of come to you. If you have an instrument around, do you go grab the instrument and sort of start doodling with it?
Yeah, I've got a computer and recording program at the house. More times than not, I do that because I'm afraid I'm going to lose something. That's what I do. I'd grab it, jump, and start just whatever comes out, comes out. And more times than not, most of it comes out right away, but sometimes I'll go back months later.
I'm sure it varies from song to song. How long does it take to write a song?
The quick ones can be done in 5 to 10 minutes. Other than the quick ones that come out, those other ones could take months.
And for a song like Strange Inside Your Head, that sounded like it came pretty quickly.
Yeah. Everything, except for maybe 2 or 3 lines of the verses. Actually, I think it was just one line. And I think what it was when I recorded, I mumbled something and couldn't coherently get anything out of it. And then trying to find rhyming schemes, couldn't find the right thing. It's a little frustrating.
Another song that I really like is Never Sail.
Yeah, I do too.
And what was the origin of that?
That is a co-write between me and Stu, our lead guitarist. The majority of the song he wrote. That is about a mutual friend that I guess you'd say we worried about, so to speak, or Stu brought that to us, and I loved it right away.
Never say
And so, as a collaborative work like that, tell me a little bit about how that comes about.
He brought all the music. We worked on the arrangement, settled in on that. He had, I think, 3 verses, and the third one he didn't like that he had written down and asked me to take a shot at it. And a line or 2, and maybe the other 2 verses.
And so, do you just sit there and play through it and try out lines on one another?
When it came to the lyrics, that was just me and Stu sitting. We worked on it before the other 2 got to rehearsal. I think what it was is he'd brought the song to us like the week before, and he got me the lyrics, so I could work on them. I think I came up with a verse worth, actually. Got him to say, "Are you all right with these lines?" He either says yes or no, or "Yeah, I like this, but change this word," or "Hey, remember, it's from this perspective, it rhymes here." That kind of banter goes back and forth. And then there again, it depends on who the person is too. Like Stu and Marcus do some co-writing too, and Stu's actually really good about helping us finish unfinished ones. I wouldn't say crack the whip, but just really forces us to sit down and say, "Dude, just write something."
So you're at a rehearsal. You've talked through the lyrics before the rehearsal. You have made some contributions. Is it generally like before the rehearsal that he would have said, "Yeah, could we change this word? Could we change that word?" Or does that occur while you're doing it?
Usually before, yeah, or maybe after. Yeah, not during. We just get into it, and just once we get together the music, it's pretty much concentrate on that and the arrangement. That's what that time's for.
Right.
And then if somebody has time, practice ends usually because somebody has to go somewhere, and then maybe 1 or 2 of them will stick around, and then we'll work on it. The lyrics go over that stuff then too, if not before.
Rehearsal time is pretty much just working out the particular arrangement.
Yeah, 100%. Might record some, but pretty much arrangement. Yeah.
Do you come to final conclusions at a rehearsal, or do you say, "This sounds like a good idea, let's think on it," and come back?
Depends on the song and where it's at. More times than not, we'll come to a conclusion, but then there'll be some we'll lay down. There'll be some that we think we've to a conclusion, and we'll come back and somebody's forgotten it, or no, that's not what we should do. Let's redo it this way.
So do you have recording equipment then at the rehearsal so you can just do that?
Yeah, we've got record on Logic, good quiver microphones, talking to other friends, just kind of building up a decent recording setup. Recorded a few demos or albums or whatever, a couple here just as a friend thing, because I like doing it myself. Now, the EP and some of the stuff we'll play, that was recorded different. That wasn't with us. Let that get out of our hands, which I'm glad we did. Or we just concentrate on recording it. But yeah, I've got the equipment to love messing around with it for sure.
And do you tend to do your own mixing, or do you have someone else do the mixes?
When it comes to the stuff at the house, yeah, we'll do our own mixing. Me and Marcus has less fear as far as the mixing. He'll go in and do a lot of different things and try them, but as far as the EP and the new album coming, we leave that up to a mutual friend, Ryan Shimeni, who we met through Matt Garapolo, and he lives up in New York City and works at a recording studio and a school up there. And he's very, very talented at it. More than thrilled with what he's done. And through him, we were able to find some people to reasonably master the album for us, and kind of really properly recorded and mastered, but really a DIY project, I would say.
Now, the MP3s you sent me, those are the final mixes?
Strange Inside Your Head is a master take. And Never Sail. Yeah, the other ones are early mixes of the new ones, or I think the Melancholy is an unmixed one.
So you've done most of the recordings?
It's all done except for, like I said, maybe a few things that Ryan will take care of, off of maybe 1 or 2 of the songs, but it's done. We cranked that out over at Dollhouse Studios that Peter runs over there, which was super fun and a great place to record. And we cut 18 songs in 3 days. Got all the basic music tracks down there in less than 2 days. And then Ryan had his, we did it on Pro Tools, and he brought his computer microphones out the house. I did my vocals out there early one day, and then he did the rest with Matt and Marcus and their vocals, and pretty much wrapped it up in 3 and 4 days. So yeah, I got that coming down the pike. I don't think they're all going to make the album, but hopefully, if all things go well, we'll release the rest of them as maybe a couple of singles too, because we still like doing the vinyl. You know, it's not exactly economically profitable, but we all enjoy it enough. We'll probably at least do that with this bunch. Yeah.
And when would you expect the album to come out?
Probably not till I would say next spring. Ryan's finishing up the mixing right now. Mastering probably won't take very long. I guess when I say it, I'm thinking for the vinyl, because you got to get into the queue. If anybody knows anything about ever dealt with having a vinyl record make, there's a months-long backlog. Yeah,
They don't have the machines.
No, don't have the machines.
And when vinyl went out of business, they let the machines go, and so now very few places have machines that they can press vinyl.
Yeah, so that's
and no one's making them.
No. You got a few here and there. We had ours done at a plant in Columbus, Ohio, and then you got Jack White, who's got his place in Detroit. He just opened. I guess is a new pressing plant that looks incredible. But yeah, there's not too many of them. It seems that vinyl has picked up little by little over the last 10 years with the indie crowd and all that. But yeah, I'm guessing that we might be ready with the vinyl by March. The reason I mention that is that it's probably about March this past year when we got this one out, which we had done just about the same time the year before. We got more songs, but hopefully we're a little bit quicker at it this time. Hopefully we'll have the mastered digital ones to you. I would say we'd probably have those definitely by the end of the year.
So are you likely to post those as singles, or are you going to wait until you have the vinyl and do vinyl, do CD, do release?
We haven't discussed that yet. It's a good question. We tend to cross bridges when they come to us. That one isn't here yet. I guess we'll decide, hey, which are we going to put 10, 11, 12 on the full album. In digital world, it doesn't matter. You can do the whole album, you can slap them all out, obviously, or you can do singles, but it's not as cool as getting that little 45. But I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm going to guess at least 12 of them.
It really changes the milieu and the fact that you can release it in so many forms now. Do you do it all at once? Do you do it in piecemeal? A lot of albums that aren't coming out of big bands or very prominent artists, the album's not coming out and they're already releasing tunes off of it.
Yeah.
I guess it's been mastered, so they'll just get it out. And
I'm not sure how everybody deals with that, but just thinking about this and the EP, it's like, well, we finally ain't got it yet, but it's finished. It's almost like a pressure, like put it out there. You're excited, you're proud of what you've done, you really like it. And like you said, there's so many processes. It's like, I wouldn't say you're throwing up your hands, but you're just kind of like, let's get it out there. People want the vinyl, we'll get the vinyl. More than likely. It's definitely a different world. Like anything in life, pros and cons to it. But I'm thoroughly on board with the digital world, and there's still some people that don't like it for whatever reason. I get that, but for somebody who doesn't have a record deal, that doesn't fit the pop scene of the day, the internet is your place. Not only for you to get your stuff out, but to find like-minded bands that aren't there yet. I mean, it's just you can't keep up with it. There's so many good ones out there, which in a way makes it hard. I mean, it was going to be hard for you whether it was there or not to get somewhere, if you get anywhere. But that's not really the reason we do it, but that's part of that thought process for a lot of people.
I'll put the bug in your ear, and next time I see Marcus, I'll put the bug in his ear, that if there are songs that you want to be played, give me a fully mixed MP3, and I can play it on my Evening Eclectic show in anticipation, and I'll mention this is in anticipation of the album coming out, particularly if you have an album title at that point.
Right.
And I don't know, do you have an album title?
For the new one yet? No, that bridge is even further down the road.
I can say that to anticipate the album coming out, playing this, I can be used that way.
Well, man, I love it. Thank you so much for being so loose.
The whole point of this show, Music Local and Sustainable, is to promote local musicians, to introduce the Savannah community to their musicians so that they know them better, to encourage them to get out and see local musicians around town and other musical events around town. But also, that's why we have an hour on WRUU that is local music only, and we have, and probably will expand that. It used to be 2 hours, and we ate into it by having a live show on another topic. So we'll probably have more music of local performers, more in another time slot too. Right now it's on Monday night from 11 to midnight, but we'll probably put it in some other places too. But also, a lot of local artists are being played on different shows on WRU, and so we like doing that because it's a way to serve the community and the music community.
Well, let me thank you and yours for WRUU, because I was just, and I'm super excited about this station too. I was just talking to a friend the other night. We was driving to that Tuesday gig and turned on WRUU, and I have trouble getting them out. I live out near Pooler, which is a question I got. When are you going to get more power?
And that is not likely
anytime soon. Okay.
Well, to make a long story short, the initial license application went in at 100 watts, and it was reduced to 40 because of our placement on the dial to interact with others.
Okay.
We never really will ever get above 100 because we're an LP station. We'd have to change our license from LP to general broadcast. Wow. That might occur sometime in the future, but
it's somewhere different on the dial, maybe.
That could be a change that's made too. But that's a very long process. So we're not likely to go.
Well, either way, when I can hear it, I'm excited, because when I heard the train wrecks the other night, it made me happy, because Savannah is really my likes and whatnot. I've needed a station like this for quite a while.
Yeah, and that's why we do it. The way the aerial is positioned and the transmitter functions, it is really directed eastward. And so even though the aerial itself is on the west side of town, it's actually more directed eastward. To tell you the truth, I was sitting in Tybee.
Wow,
and
really?
I turned it on, and there it was. That's very rare. Generally, you have to be Wilmington Island and west to really get us.
So you're telling me I need to move?
You need to move. You're on the wrong side of town. If you move just a very short distance, because we go to 95 and then you almost lose us. It's sort of like that. You get to 95 and it's almost like that you lose us. And so that's just the nature of it. It's just when I'm heading out toward Tybee, very often I'll get to like the Bull River Bridge, and it will then become so staticky it's just not worthwhile. This is WRUU-LP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul.
The simplest reason to support WRUU with a financial gift is because you listen. This radio station relies on listeners like you to bring the programs that you enjoy. WRUU is now in the midst of a membership campaign, and we're counting on you to help us finish this campaign successfully so that we can continue to broadcast and grow community radio that is unlike anything else on your radio dial. No other station plays the kind of music that you hear on WRUU, and no other station plays the kind of talk programs that you hear on WRUU. Tell us now that you value this program with your financial support.
When you go to WRUU.org, make a one-time contribution of $60 or a monthly donation of $5 per month. It's easy, quick, and affordable. A donation at any level will make you eligible to receive a WRUU bumper sticker, so that you can show the world on wheels that you support Savannah's only community radio station. Become a serious fan at the $107.50 level or above, and we'll ask you if you'd like a WRUU tote bag, a handy gift that goes with you anywhere you need the help, at the grocery store, at the beach, or around the house. These are just small tokens of our appreciation. The real thanks that you get is the satisfaction of knowing that you make possible the diverse, vibrant, exciting, and truly engaging music and news programs you enjoy every day. Go to WRUU.org and make a $60 donation. Make a $107.50 donation, or make up your own amount, with our great thanks.
Tonight, we have Tim Warren on the show. Would you be interested in doing some of the new stuff?
Some of the new stuff?
Yeah, like some ideas off the new album to give everybody an idea for the new album.
How about, let's do Shaney. This definitely is recorded, more than likely. We'll see if it's on there or not. I can actually tell you about this. The gal Shaney does not exist. It's mainly about a former girlfriend, but then parts of other girlfriends put together. Anyway, this is Shaney. Walks on holy ground, and she's product placement for the lost and found. Shaney is a one of a kind that you wish you could find. She rarely walks straight lines, and she's unopposed to the 5 and dime. Always wanting more. Shaney, what's the score? Shaney's in love with the world. Her flag is always unfurled. She wears her hair in curls, and she'll make you feel just like the Duke of Earl. Shaney says to not look back as she tracks heart attacks. She rarely sweats setbacks and lives her life as bold as a Whisker Jack. She's always wanting more. Shaney, what's the score? What's the score? What's the score?
So you said this is an amalgam of different individuals put together into one individual Shaney.
Yes, correct. You can fit as much in about 2.5 minutes.
What features did you draw, and why did you draw those features to put it in this song?
My main concern when writing those features was the poetry part of it, if you call it that. I guess because they fit the poetry. I guess when I went at this, I'm really not sure where the name Shaney came from. Let me just write it as abstract, but still telling the same thing, getting those points across. I had came up with the first line. Shaney loves to come around when she blows into town. All right, I got a line. And I start rhyming from there. And I went for, all right, let's try to rhyme as much as we can, what works and what doesn't. I found the end word or syllable and just kind of build it around there. And then as I was building the lines, that's where those features came out because they actually fit the rhyme. They were like, well, that's awesome about her. This fits that.
So she had a bunch of characteristics that you really admire, and then you selected from those characteristics that fit the rhyme.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
that's right. And they kind of told the story too.
And they weren't totally random,
even though they are really sort of random.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because they're characteristics that you admire or characteristics you wanted to put in this individual. It's just then you had to do the final selection so that it made it easier to make it into a lyric.
Yes, yeah.
How long did it take to write this?
That one came quick. I was pretty sure I was just going to do the verse and the chorus, wasn't worried about bridge, or it was going to be a straightforward song. Even with the band, it's going to be straightforward. It might have been I say 5 or 10 minutes. It probably took me an hour to get the lyrics right. Yeah, I just went from there.
And you said that you wrote this soon after you wrote Marina?
Yeah, it couldn't have been too long.
Well, now that we've sort of stumbled onto Marina, sort of went the back way.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about Marina and the origin of Marina.
The song about a guy I was mad about and still mad about. Probably when I first met her was probably almost a decade ago. She's actually from Europe. Mm-hmm. I met her over here when she was over here working. She ended up moving back, and I didn't go with her. And she didn't want to stay, but I couldn't get her out. I don't know if I was writing the song for her. Oh, I was definitely writing it for her, but was I writing it to try to convince her to come back or whatever? But I think more of it was I just thought she deserves a song. It's just silly. I got this much feeling for her, an emotion, an attachment. It took a while. I couldn't even get started on it. I just knew I wanted to write it. Here comes my next door neighbor, who isn't necessarily a musician, but a music fan like anybody else. And I think we've been listening to some old traditional country stuff, and I've been talking about the Marina song. And he came up with the line, Marina, it's been so long since I've seen you, and sang it in that kind of old style country. I went, yeah, that's it right there. And went in the house immediately. He had the line, I sung the melody. This is one where just had no instruments. So boom, that's it. So went in and just kind of started hitting different chords and found C and sang it. All right, that's obviously in the key I'm singing it, and just build it from there. Well, I went back out and talked to him for a second and said, dude, I'm going back in to work on that. I can't not let this go. And he goes, all right. So I went inside and found, Marina, it's been so long since I've seen you, and then built that verse, and then wrote the lyric, went to the pad, wrote the rest of the lyrics, and sat down and thought, well, I need a change, and just went from there, and it came out.
Marina, it's been so long since I've seen ya. Come to me, your ways and dreams. Wake or sleep, you're always near me, although you're an ocean away. Marina, it's been so long since I've seen ya. Come to me, your ways
This is WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul.
The simplest reason to support WRUU with a financial gift is because you listen. This radio station relies on listeners like you to bring the programs that you enjoy. WRUU is now in the midst of a membership campaign, and we're counting on you to help us finish this campaign successfully so that we can continue to broadcast and grow community radio that is unlike anything else on your radio dial. No other station plays the kind of music that you hear on WRUU, and no other station plays the kind of talk programs that you hear on WRUU. Tell us now that you value this program with your financial support.
When you go to WRUU.org, make a one-time contribution of $60 or a monthly donation of $5 per month. It's easy, quick, and affordable. A donation at any level will make you eligible to receive a WRUU bumper sticker, so that you can show the world on wheels that you support Savannah's only community radio station. Become a serious fan at the $107.50 level or above, and we'll ask you if you'd like a WRUU tote bag, a handy gift that goes with you anywhere you need the help, at the grocery store, at the beach, or around the house. These are just small tokens of our appreciation. The real thanks that you get is the satisfaction of knowing that you make possible the diverse, vibrant, exciting, and truly engaging music and news programs you enjoy every day. Go to WRUU.org and make a $60 donation. Make a $107.50 donation, or make up your own amount with our great thanks.
Tonight, we have Tim Warren on the show. Do you think about expressing emotions that way? Do songs generally come out of strong emotions?
Yeah, they do. Even if I intentionally sit down to write something, it has to be something I feel. It elicits a strong response and feeling in me.
Let's talk about another song that you've recorded for the new album.
Melancholy Superb. You were such a jerk when you left with all your might, and it always seemed superb. You were left alone in such a room, such a trip so pretty missed, standing tall, halls checkered, rolling by. Ooh, you're a brake light down by the bight. Ooh, we will find. So came the day that stayed. You were so wronged. They left you home with no one home. Then loving you when no one's left alone. When the clock struck 12, you were a shell, broken by your broken health. It never occurred for you to run and hide. Sad as a frown, she said the cure would never be found. You know, some crimes, stillborn cries, left with these thighs, sweet by and by. She was seeking an arm to sever what's wrong all night. Whenever was my mind ever so aligned? You were given a ride with a planned demise, searching 9 to 5. melancholy eyes, so superb, so superb, so superb, so superb.
So that's one of the ones you that's unmixed.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
a full band.
Yeah, it's full bands. It's all there. The only thing I'd love to have some reverse drums, because when we kind of demo recorded out at the house a while back, we just got into messing with things. We thought we could just add a lot of stuff to the song. So, and maybe some synthesizer white noise. I mean, if not the way it is, I'm happy with.
Such a jerk when you left with all your might, and it always seemed superb. You were left alone in such a room, such a trip, so pretty mist, standing tall, horse checkered, rolling by. Ooh, you're a brake light down by the bay.
What was the origin of this song?
Just that opening little arpeggi tune note on the A chord. I just love the way it sounded. It reminded me of Beatles stuff that I love so much. It just had that kind of minor feel to it, and the descending. That's pretty much the origin of the lyrics. I really don't know what it's about. Yeah, obviously it had some thoughts, led to some lines, but it didn't come from one particular story or idea or person.
Or event.
Yeah, or event. No, it's just like a amalgamation of a lot of things, almost like a life story, I guess, so to speak, or a big part of a life.
Well, tonight we've had Tim Warren on the show, and I'm so glad you were able to come in and talk about your music and talk about Clouds and Satellites.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Dave. It's been an honor, pleasure, and look forward to seeing you in the future and listening to 107.5. So thank you again.
Cherry bombs in the Dust Bowl. She said she'd never go home. Never been to the strange times. She said she wouldn't pack light. Now that's something she gave to me. I ought to give it all back. Tag you too slow, it seems so. Attack him into the dream. Transistor radio, sad song. Standing room full, empty dome. No need to ever use vice scripts. 51 tray phony notes. Decide to love to come with me. We'll ride it out to a breeze. They're never coming to take it away. After paying those dues. Cherry bombs in the dust bowl. She said she'd never go home. Never been to the strange times. She said she wouldn't pack light. Now that's something she gave to me. I ought to give it all back. Tag you too slow, it seems so. Attack him into the dream. Transistor radio, sad song. Standing room full, empty dome. No need to ever use vice scripts. 51 tray phony notes. Decide to love to come with me. We'll ride it out to a breeze. They're never coming to take it away. After paying those dues.
This has been another edition of Music Local and Sustainable, and I've been your host, Dave Lake. Save this time for another show next week.
Well, I know we ain't headed for the Hall of Fame. Gonna give it what we got, man, that ain't no shame. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2.